Joanne, it's good to have you. This is kind of a risky gambit. A lot of people are pretty comfortable sticking with big tech. And obviously, we've seen the pandemic plays, like Dom was just mentioning, do well lately. So why do you say now is the right time to double down on reopening?
Well, Kelly, good to be with you. I think people need to recognize that the recovery is going to take some time. The early gains were made, and now we're seeing labor growth still coming along nicely, but at a slower pace. And so while you definitely want to have at this point some exposure to the reopening trade, you want to be also careful about being too exposed to those high multiple, really big tech stocks. Because, we are seeing inflation remain high. We do, see a lot of it is transitory, but we have to expect the Fed's going to pull back on its accommodation. Eventually, rates are going to rise, and that's going to be somewhat constraining for these really high multiple stocks. And so that's why we're looking at positioning our clients using individual stocks in a more diversified portfolio that includes both reopening, some key secular growth tech stocks, as well as some purely recovery stocks.
Yeah, so C-Limited BioNTech, which itself is a partner of Pfizer's, obviously, with the vaccine, and Train Technologies, right?
Yeah, and so let's start with the latter. I mean, Train is an industrial, and so some folks think of that as a purely cyclical stock. But actually, when you look at Train, it's secular growth as well. They provide HVAC systems, which are going to be boosted by continued housing building, but also by regulations in Europe and the need elsewhere to improve air handling, whether it's for efficiency reasons or whether it's for COVID. So it's a cyclical stock with a secular growth opportunity, and it's fairly low volatility. So it's a nice solution to add into both income-oriented and growth-oriented strategies.
And why BioNTech?
Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand about BioNTech, obviously famous for its COVID vaccine, right? A lot of the forecasts out there assume a much bigger drop-off in their revenues in the out years, like 2023, than I think is really justified. We're seeing the need for boosters come along. We see the need for the rest of the world to continue to get vaccinated, right? We've got a long way to go. And so we see that as a sustaining driver for their revenues just from that vaccine. But what people also don't recognize is that they have a really good pipeline of other applications of what's now been proved as a successful messenger RNA platform, whether that's a flu vaccine or the cancer vaccine. They already have preclinical and clinical trials going in several different areas with other well-established pharma companies like Pfizer.
Yeah, very interesting. Joanne, we appreciate it. Joanne Feeney with some picks for the next period of time.